It's pretty much universal knowledge that Spartan Flag is the worst starter upgrade in the game, and has been the worst since they reintroduced starters back into Smite. I'll be going through 3 major issues with the item, and their solutions. The first problem with Spartan Flag is the base stats. It arguably has the worst stats out of all the upgrades in the game. To understand the base stats for Spartan Flag, we have to understand the base stats for War Flag. So War Flag stats are 10 physical and 10 magical protection, 100 health, and 10 MP5. These are some pretty good stats, because it gives both physical and magical procs as well as 100 health, but also gives you some mana sustain. And the base stats for Spartan Flag is 30 physical or 50 magical power, 250 health, and 15 MP5. So for upgrading the item, you're getting 30 or 50 power, 150 health, and 5 MP5, as well as losing 20 procs. You are actively losing stats for upgrading this starter. Of course, losing 20 protections is inherently quite negative, but you're only gaining 30 or 50 power, which is a meh amount of power. You do gain 150 health, which is the only semi-decent stat in the item, and the final stat is 5 MP5, which is such a small number it is basically useless at that point. Clearly this item is supposed to be a hybrid starter item for supports, because the item gives power and health, but both are too low to make any significant difference. The power is too low and wouldn't make ability start chunking enemies, especially without penetration. The health increase also doesn't make you that much tankier, especially when you factor in that you lose protections upgrading to this item. So this problem would be the easiest to solve. The upgrade just needs better base stats. An example of better base stats would be 20 physical or 35 magical power, 20 procs each, 200 health, and 20 MP5. If high-res want Spartan Flag to have power, then they have to give it protections too. It just doesn't make any sense to lose stats for upgrading your starter item. My second issue with Spartan Flag is with the stats of its passive, which gives 10% increased power and attack speed. The passive was actually buffed in the most recent patch, which added the attack speed and increased gold per 5 from 6 to 8. This buff doesn't fix the issue with the item's passive, that the stats it provides just are relatively low and don't benefit the team as a whole. The support and the solo laner would be getting around 10 to 15 power from this item, hunters would be getting around 25 power from this item, junglers, if full damage, would be getting around 30 power from this item, and mid laners would be getting around 60 to 70 power from this item. So the item only significantly benefits full damage magical characters, but with a traditional team comp, there's only one of them on the team. The attack speed increase is the same story. Supports don't care for that stat, a Thoth, Tiamat or a Vulcan don't find attack speed useful, and most solo laners like Gwan, Yorm and King Arthur don't like it either. So the only roles that actually benefit from this attack speed would be the carry role and the jungle role. Since it's only a 10% attack speed increase, it's not exactly a game-changing stat either. To solve this issue, you would just give the passive more universal stats. Instead of increased power, it would be increased damage. This means it would affect item procs like Kins, Soul Reaver, Heartseeker, Crusher, and hybrid items like Glads, Arc Druids, and Pridwen. You could also change it to 10% protection debuff for the enemy, which would give everyone on your team more penetration. Another solution could be to give it more utility. This could be via stats like adding anti-heal or movement speed to the passive, or it could be allowing jungle bosses like the Fire Giant or the Gold Fury to proc the item, allowing you to burn objectives quickly. My last major issue with this upgrade would be where the flag is deployed. It drops to your location, so if you hit an enemy through a wall or with a ranged ability, they kind of just walk out of the radius easily, not allowing you to fight within it. I have 2 solutions for this. The obvious one is the flag should drop at the enemy's location rather than your own, but another way could be for the support to become the flag bearer. So rather the flag be stationary on the floor, the flag is actually carried around by the support who emits this aura. The last thing I would like to mention is how similar Spartan Flag and Runeforged Hammer are. Both items have very similar base stats and passives. I just think it's extremely odd that an upgraded starter is almost identical in every way to just a regular tier 3 item. Anyway, do you have a solution or even a problem I didn't think of? Then please comment, I'd love to get people talking about this item. because in its current state I just feel like it's a waste of starter upgrades, and the more people talk about it, it's more likely that it's going to get buffed or even completely reworked. Thanks for watching.